Hello everyone, back to today's first video, doing the weather for the weekend for today's first video. So as always on a Saturday, we have a detailed look at the weather for the coming week, and we're at the websites, theweatheroutlook.com and westcentral.de for your weekend forecast. Today you find both of the websites on the links page at Scout's Weathers and in the description at YouTube. So we're looking at a bit of a transitional week, I think, this week. We're starting off quite mild, in fact very mild this weekend, but also very cloudy, gloomy, some conditions that we've been used to since Christmas, really. Still holding on for the next few days, but from the middle of the week there's going to be a change. It's going to start turning colder. Initially not overly so, nothing particularly dramatic through the second half of the week, but it will be a colder feel. And there's a bit of uncertainty about the end of the week and next weekend as low pressure tries to come in from the Atlantic, comes up against this block of cold air. How quickly will it get rid of it? And if there's a stall of the milder Atlantic air coming in, will there be a little bit of snow? So question marks from around sort of Thursday, Friday into next weekend about that. Talk you through everything that's going on very shortly. Just to say, but today's second video coming up, we'll be having a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days. Have all of the latest on the stratospheric warming and Arctic oscillation, North Atlantic oscillation, all of that kind of thing. That'll be coming up for you later on this afternoon. I'm running quite late actually today, so it's going to be kind of like really late on in the afternoon, almost through to early evening, before the second video will be ready. And given that I'm running late, I think better get on with it. So we're going to start off with the radar picture. This is how things are looking currently in terms of the radar picture. So it's been a very damp and dreary day across many parts of the country today. Had more general rain across parts of western, southwestern Scotland, although it is a bit showery in nature. There has been little damp bits and pieces across parts of England and Wales as well. I'm probably going to keep these conditions going through much of the afternoon. It's going to be a cloudy, dreary sort of afternoon with little bits and pieces of rain and drizzle coming and going across parts of the country, and then that more general area of albeit showery rain across western and southwestern Scotland and coming down into parts of Northern Ireland too. The best of many brighter sunny spells are likely to be in the east, so particularly the northeast, so parts of eastern Scotland, northeast England, where we shelter from these Atlantic winds. You might get a few bright or sunny breaks, but overall a very cloudy day coming up, but very mild. So despite the cloud and patch rain, at least it will be mild, with temperatures ranging from around 8 to 12 degrees Celsius. So as we go through into the rest of today, with the stochastic setup, you're going to have a high pressure out to southwest, a low pressure going to be up to the northwest, and that's feeding in these westerly winds, and those winds are quite strong as well. So overnight tonight we keep this sort of setup going with the high pressure remaining down to the southwest, and the low pressure up to the north and to the northeast as well. So we're going to find another weather system coming into parts of Scotland, bringing cloud and showery outbreaks of rain through there, and showery rain likely through Northern Ireland and Northern England as well. The rest of England and Wales, though, will have a cloudy night, but should be mainly dry. Again, there could be a few little bits and pieces of rain drizzle coming and going, but I think most places will be dry through the second half of the night. Temperature's going to be mild tonight, holding up at around 6, 7, 8 degrees for most of us. We'll have that brisk wind that is going to be quite gusty actually for northern and western parts of the country. Into sunny, we're having a go at pulling the wind into the north, even on sunny. This is going to be kind of like a failed northerly, although it will bring some colder air in towards Scotland. But it's a sign of things to come, maybe things just beginning to change within the atmosphere here. Tomorrow. So a cold front will be moving southwards across the country during the course of sunny, taking a band of cloud and showery rain from Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England further south into the rest of England and Wales. That might bring even a few spots of rain even into the south and southeast, but I think overall it will be quite a weak front, this, just bringing a little more, but a band of cloud. And behind it, it brightens up, but it turns colder as well, and the showers could turn a little bit wintry as they feed in with that brighter air to northern and eastern parts of Scotland. It'll be a colder day tomorrow up in the north. Temperatures after a reasonably mild start will fall to around 4 or 5 degrees. For England and Wales, though, still very mild, 10 to 12. Another really mild day coming up down in the south. That's Monday, and the reason that northerly wind fails is that winds backs into west again during the course of Monday, with this high pressure down to the southwest and low pressure up to the north. We start Monday on a dry note with a good deal of sunny spells. We will have changed the air mass, of course, and there could be some ground frost, particularly for northern parts of the country, maybe some touches of air frost for Scotland. A warm front then moves in from the Atlantic through the day, so that's going to spread cloud and maybe a few light bits and pieces of rain into western parts of the country, but central and eastern areas will probably hang on to sunny spells through much of the day, particularly on the eastern side of the country. Temperatures will be quite chilly, about average really, ranging from around 4 to 7 degrees Celsius on Monday. Into Tuesday, a more active cold front heads into the north and west, so cloud and outbreaks of rain will spread into northern and western parts of Scotland. Some of that will become quite heavy, and by evening, other parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland will be turning wet and windy. England and Wales, another dry day. Sunny spells to begin, but probably increasingly cloudy as these southwesterly winds drag in a lot of cloud from off the Atlantic. Temperatures on Tuesday are going to be pretty mild again, so ranging from around sort of 6, 7, 8 in the north to around 9, 10 down in the south. Another fairly mild day on Tuesday. But things begin to change on Wednesday as this cold front pushes southwards and eastwards. The wind turns into the north. This is the beginning of a change, possibly lasting through much of the second half of the month, although that is quite speculative. But we will have that band of wet weather increasingly moving southwards during the course of Wednesday. Some of the rain could be quite heavy. It might even bring some fairly heavy rain even into parts of the Midlands, East Anglia, South East England, where it has been very dry since before Christmas. Following along behind is a much colder northerly wind, and that will bring snow showers into northern and eastern parts of Scotland as the wind turns into an Arctic northerly. The far southeast will still be fairly mild on Wednesday, still holding up around 9 or 10 degrees, but from the Midlands northwards it's going to be turning colder, so sort of 6, 7 degrees through the Midlands, but once you get to Scotland and Northern Ireland, probably only 2 or 3 degrees at best, and feeling colder than that in the freshening northerly wind. Now we go through into Thursday and we get this little bump of high pressure coming in within quite cold air. So overnight, Wednesday into Thursday, probably snow showers for northern eastern parts of Scotland. Some snow showers possibly coming down the east coast of the country as well. Most of those should fade out under this ridge of high pressure on Thursday. And we should actually have a mainly dry day with decent sunny spells. But it's going to be cold. There'll be a frost to start and then quite a harsh frost, I think, on Thursday night. The temperature itself on Thursday, probably only around 4 or 5 degrees through most of us. So not dramatically cold, but certainly you will notice the chill, I think, as we get through to the end of the week. And then as we get through to Friday and the weekend, a lot of uncertainty about this area of low pressure that's moving in from off the Atlantic. How does it move in? How quick does it move in? Does it move in at all? Maybe it'll stall out in the west and slide away to south of the country, leaving us in an increasingly cold pattern. Or will it just push across the country very quickly and introduce milder air from off the Atlantic? So a lot of uncertainty about Friday. I think we probably start with a widespread frost, but also plenty of sunshine. Cloud and outbreaks of rain across Northern Ireland, Wales, southwestern England will try to move northwards and eastwards. As that rain moves into the cold air, it is moving into a block of cold air that's sitting over the country, and there is a potential, if it gets far enough inland, for some of that rain to turn to snow. So parts of Wales, the Midlands, maybe up to northern England, and definitely up in towards Scotland, if that rain gets far enough inland, it could turn to sleet or snow during the course of Friday, because it's going to be a real struggle to move this in. I think many eastern parts of the country will tend to stay dry on Friday and turn increasingly cloudy. Out in the west, it might brighten up and turn a bit milder. Generally quite a cold day. Temperatures only 3, 4, 5 degrees through most of us, but it might get milder out in the west by the end of the day. And then into the weekend, again, a lot of uncertainty. This particular GFS run is pushing in these Atlantic winds, albeit they are quite cold winds coming from the northern Atlantic. But other models are in a disagreement about this. And we'll talk more about it in today's second video update, what's happening next weekend. Excuse me, again, and then through into the following week. Overall, we can say that there's likely to be rain, sleet or snow around the country on Saturday. probably being replaced by wintry showers on Sunday. Overall temperatures quite chilly next weekend, but again, it is all to be revealed really about what's happening from Friday through to next weekend. If I just have a look at charts for weather outlook, so loads of cloud and showery bits and pieces of rain across the country today and into tomorrow, very similar condition, but it does turn brighter and colder in the north later on. Back to relatively mild air from the Atlantic on Monday, and that lasting to Tuesday as well. Wednesday drops that cold front southwards across the country. It does turn colder behind it, with wintry showers turning readily to snow across Scotland. Been a cold but dry day on Thursday with decent sunny spells. Expect a hard frost on Thursday night. And then we've got this uncertainty about Friday with this wet weather moving in from off the Atlantic. It's coming into cold air. The GFS wants to move it through quite quickly. Other models are suggesting a stall of this weather front. As this rain hits the colder air, it might turn to snow across central, northern, and if it gets far enough, eastern parts of the country. But we don't yet know whether it will get as far as eastern and northeastern Britain. We'll keep you posted on that. So, in summary, well, it's a transitional week, really, this week. We're starting off mostly cloudy, damp, mild. The conditions are going to stay with us, albeit with a temporary incursion of colder air into Scotland tomorrow. But overall, the first part of the week up to Tuesday is going to be generally quite cloudy, damp at times, and mild. Midweek sees a change. A band of rain moves southwards on a cold front. That introduces a northerly wind, leaving us with a colder second half of the week, and then quite a lot of uncertainty by the time we get through to Friday and next weekend. Risk of rain, sleet or snow moving in from off the Atlantic, and we'll keep you posted about that. Right, so come back later on this afternoon. Be late on this afternoon, given how late I'm running. We'll have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days. I'll bring you up to date with all of the latest developments in terms of the shorter and longer range models. So come back for that this afternoon or early evening. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.